Hey folks, Vivi here. Welcome to VinyaVersary 5. For those new here, 5 years ago, I officially became Vivi Vinya, which is also to say, the day I came out as trans femme. Today's the most important day for me because of that. It's a reminder for the steps I've taken for authenticity and finding love within the life I live. I'm also choosing to be even more vocal about it as time goes on, so don't expect this she-it girl thing to be quiet about my journey anytime soon. Of course, how better to celebrate that than with a handful of new Rivals of Aether Workshop releases? Well, I think it's a fun way to celebrate anyways, and definitely exciting, so let's get right into that. As you just saw a few moments ago, Smoky Progg from the Pikmin series has just been released. This fighter has been in development for well over 2 years at this point, first teased all the way back at VinyaVersary 3. The fighter was revealed a year later at VinyaVersary 4 on the release for its accompanying stage, the Forest Navel. Then you got a sneak preview of its near-final version in March, as a surprise announcement during the commercial break in the Great and Powerful Trixie's Undefeatable Rivals of Aether Spectacular. It's been a whole journey. I've hyped this particular fighter up quite a lot throughout development. Of course, there's no more teases or announcements this time. We finally have the real deal. I hope in spite of this, the wait will have been worth it. Getting right into it, Smoky Progg is one of many iconic creatures from the Pikmin series. Many Rivals of Aether fans may already be somewhat familiar with Pikmin. The main protagonist of the games, Olimar, has been in the Super Smash Bros. Series since Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The gameplay of the Pikmin games involves you taking the role of a spacefaring explorer with a knack for commanding a group of up to 100 weak, but very resourceful, little plant-like creatures called Pikmin. Together, you are capable of taking down titanic beasts while collecting objects that aid in survival, or just for the sake of corporate greed, and repeatedly save yourselves and other spacefarers from the terrors that this planet seems to have fated for them. The Smoky Progg itself appears in 2 games in the series. First, it's a secret boss in the original Pikmin, who you find as a strange giant egg in the distant spring, if you're fast enough to arrive there by the 15th day, that is. By disturbing the egg, it hatches early, causing the malformed creature to begin a rampage, and head directly for your base. Although it appears to just lumber about, it has a horrifying ability. The trail it leaves behind is a substance called gloom, which causes any Pikmin who touch it to instantly die. A player who uses little caution will swiftly find their whole Pikmin army perish at the Progg's paws. Even buried Pikmin aren't safe, as the beast has the unique ability to uproot them. However, challenging it won't go unrewarded. On defeat, Smoky Progg drops a kind of pearl, which has the sustenance to spawn 100 Pikmin. Olimar also makes a note of how the Smoky Progg is actually the malformed larval stage of a Mamuta. which is fascinating considering how the only threat Mamutas pose is the mild inconvenience of burying Pikmin with its slaps. The Smoky Progg would return in Pikmin 4, with a new design and several new abilities. Now, its gloom can be spit out from its mouth, breaking into a whole remote zone of death. Meanwhile, it's also gained Screaming, which causes Pikmin to scramble in fear, often directly into its wretched smog. It's safe to say, Smoky Progg as a character is quite notorious among Pikmin fans, becoming a fan favorite for its mysterious and elusive background, and truly terrifying abilities that prove a great challenge to any daring players. Here in Rival's Workshop, the Smoky Progg takes after the unique attributes of both of these appearances. This is immediately noticeable in the design, which is something of a composite. While the red gloom and mouth come from the Pikmin 4 appearance, the way the eyes glow and how the body deteriorates at the end are reminiscent of the original design. Many movement animations take after these designs, such as the walk and run. Jab, for instance, comes from its shake-off animation in 4, and can uniquely send opponents behind you. Meanwhile, Upstrong is inspired by the hatching animation from 1, being a jump scare of a kill move that even has a small shockwave when it lands. Oh, but I'm getting ahead of myself. You probably want to know about the fighter's mechanics. As you play Progg, you may notice that it actually has below average damage output on its attacks. I mean, you can't really blame it. It was just born, and is made of deteriorating smoke. In spite of this, its damage output can be astonishing. How can this be? Well, as you may have already guessed, gloom smoke plays a large role in this. Just like in the original games, a trail of smoke follows Smoky Progg wherever it goes. While fighters are better at surviving noxious smoke than the frail Pikmin, they'll still gradually receive damage over time. The more gloom they're surrounded by, the higher rate of damage. This means that, in a very unique case, Smoky Progg effectively always has the ability to deal damage without needing to commit to any attack. As you can probably imagine, this is an unprecedentedly powerful trait to have, and so long as you approach the opponent correctly, the extra damage these clouds deal easily make up for Progg's lower damage output. Even while being hurt, one cloud will stay beside Progg, allowing it to deal damage even in disadvantage. The only way to fully get rid of it is to land a parry on Progg, but even then, it'll come back after the disadvantage is over. Gloom can be set on the stage as well. Although these instances will go away after a short amount of time, their ability to control the stage is nearly unparalleled. The main way you'll be doing this is through the forward special projectile, Gloom Spit. As the projectile bursts open on the ground, it leaves a bunch of gloom, effectively taking up a whole chunk of the stage to your control. A smaller amount of gloom can also be quickly spawned through Downstrong, or by landing on the stage after using Up Special, the Smoggy Leap. Each of these options have unique advantages in how they generate gloom, so use them cleverly to best take control of the match. As if the damage and stage control alone weren't scary enough, Gloom is also able to steal KOs. If an opponent is at least 200%, and they are in a state where they're hurt, they'll suffer an instant KO. Suddenly, even a weak but quick move like back air becomes a devastating kill move. There's another half to this gimmick as well. Smoky Progg utilizes screams in a few attacks, namely forward strong, down air, and neutral special. On the surface, these moves are slow to start, but great for catching opponents with how long they last, and blowing them away. However, they have a secret attribute. By screaming into a gloom cloud, it changes, taking on the element of panic that the Progg scream inflict on Pikmin. The ghastly appearance change of the cloud of Pikmin souls isn't just for show. The gloom gains an increased damage rate, more range, lets remote gloom stay on the stage longer, and most terrifyingly, lowers the KO threshold to 150%. For how swiftly Progg can get enemies to 150% with the right setup, this attribute is where Progg truly excels as a fighter. Though, with all these benefits, you may wonder, is there a catch here? Well, yes there is. Another trait taken from the original fight is that when Smoky Progg is KO'd, it drops a pearl. Although it won't give you 100 Pikmin, it will deal the fighter who struck it by 50%. In many matches, this would be roughly the amount Gloom alone takes from you in the first place. To make things even tougher for the creature, it cannot influence the pearl in any way, and will often have to watch helplessly as the opponent gets a free heal. This is only amplified by the Progg's unique respawn. Rather than appearing on a respawn platform, a new Smoky Progg egg is brought down for a new beast to hatch from. By using any input, including rolling the joystick, you can try the hatch early. There's an anti-mashing timer, so please don't hurt your hand attempting to escape earlier than intended. Though, regardless, like this, it's pretty pathetic to watch. This is where Down Special comes in. This move is the Mamuta Burial. By channeling its instincts as a Mamuta spawn, Progg charges up a mighty slap. If it lands, it buries the opponent in the ground. Unlike the burying status that Hodan inflicts, this burial actually forces the opponent into a tech chase no matter what. Not just that, but a new egg will appear from the sand. It's quite a familiar sight, isn't it? It doesn't do much now, just being kind of in the way of the opponent. They can even break it if they'd like. However, the payoff is actually that, if you get KO'd, this egg allows a new Progg to spawn early from it, and coats the surrounding ground in gloom. It's much easier to fend off your foes from the precious pearl now. That should be all you need to know before you explore what Smoky Progg has to offer yourself. However, before we close things off, let's recap the Forest Navel stage. Although the stage was released last year, it's been given a minor update to help make the ambience and gameplay just that much nicer. The stage takes place in the very center of the level, at the top of the hill that Almar lands on at the start of the day. There's a couple enemies that appear in the background, being the Wallyhop and Puffstool. As you maneuver around the stage, you'll notice quickly that running past glow caps causes them to grow. These act as temporary platforms until they go back into the ground again and continue the cycle. On the Aether form, some creatures can appear out of the disturbed mushrooms, being the iridescent flint beetle and the honeywisp. Just like in the original games, they're susceptible to being attacked to drop their precious goodies. There's Nectar, which heals the fighter. There's a drop of ultra spicy spray, which causes your fighter to gain a massive speed increase. And finally, there's ultra bitter spray, which can turn your opponent to stone and get them automatically KO'd at 100%. You know, I've heard rumors that there could be a third type of critter among the glowcaps. I wonder if you can find it. The music on the stage includes many fitting Pikmin classics from throughout the series, along with 2 custom remixes. One being a chiptune arrangement I made of the Impact site, and the other being a Forest Navel arrangement I commissioned a while ago by the excellent composer Desonaker, which was used for the trailer as well. It's surely the 100th time I've done so by now, but I really must thank them again for how awesome her arrangement is. He's got some really fascinating projects being cooked up, so I hope you check them out. On the subject of thanking, there's a few folks I need to shout out for helping develop Smoky Progg alongside me. First of all, years ago I got fellow Rivals Workshop friends, Niagir Dreams and Artists of Seer, to help me detail a large chunk of animations on Progg's body. The biggest reason Progg took this long was because the effect visuals were genuinely impossible for me to process, so I have to thank them both massively for their early assistance. Then I have to thank Vizard, who put time aside to assist me with coding some of Progg's most difficult effects, including the full custom bury status. Finally, I have mostly to thank Trinket, who not only ended up taking on the remaining bulk of polishing the fighter's animations, but helped me with sound design and made the finished custom graphics for the trailer intro. Without all of these incredible artists, Smoky Progg would not have been able to be released today, so please thank them by checking out their works and giving them follows. As an aside, if I've convinced anyone to check out the Pikmin series, I would like to give a hearty recommendation to starting off with Pikmin Squared. It's a Pikmin 2 mod that recreates the entirety of Pikmin 1, maintaining all the engine improvements and has a bunch of new features like an additional story mode. It's a great entry point for beginners, and it gives all sorts of challenges for experienced Pikmin fans. Please check it out. This would normally be where I end a presentation, but this is VinyaVersary. You know I have a few more things up my sleeve. Take a look at this. Dad! Help!
Hello, Vivid Breeze. I see you've caught me tinkering with my latest whimsical contraption. Kind of a rude entrance, but I understand the desire to see me do my work.
Look. Yes, that looks really neat. Whatever it is. But we kind of have a situation on our hooves.
You see, this device is a truly pointless one. With this open hatch, you can put items into it as a form of storage, but there's a twist.
Yes, awesome! Listen, after we got Trixie in on the Aetherian tournament, I've been getting letters from ponies all over that want to join in too. How was I supposed to know we get this much attention?
I know, I'm very popular. Anyway, so the twist is you may be able to put items into the top, but you can only retrieve them through these 4 doors. Seems simple, right? But there is another twist.
Come on! There's so many letters here, and you know I'd love to help them. But how are we supposed to get every pony in here in any good order? Gosh, it's overwhelming.
You only get 1 every season.
Wait, you only focus on 1 a season? That might just work.
I was talking about the doohickey, but okay.
Hold on! Doodad, you're brilliant!
You gave my useless thingamajig purpose.
It's perfect! We can have 1 Aetherian fighter for each of the 4 seasons.
I suppose if it leads to more gimmicks, I can accept my sacrifice.
That's the spirit. And oh, the gimmicks will make.
Yum.
Let's go, Stoppy! Drop! That's right! Vivid Breeze has several new compatibilities. Oh, and Trinke and I are committing ourselves to a whole season pass of My Little Pony series fighters together. We loved what we did so much together, so why should we stop? We have 3 more ponies in the works, and with any luck, they'll be releasing throughout the next year, full presentations and all. They may not be who you expect either, so please look forward to the surprises of the Aetherian Carousel. That'll wrap things up. How nice it is to have even more to look forward to now. Smoky Progg's release, alongside new updates for Force Navel and Vivid Freeze, are all out right now. And once more, I'd like to thank my Smoky Progg collaborators and lovely friends, Trinke, Artist of Seer, Niazure Dreams, and Vizard. And of course, our special musical guest, Destinaker. Again, please check everyone out. As always, I'd like to thank my supporters for helping shape everything I've made here seen today as well. I hope this was an exciting VinyaVersary. As always, I wish that you have fun. Goodbye! Oh, and as a thanks for sticking around, I'll let you in on a secret. Smoky Progg has a secret alternate mode. Gloomless mode will surely provide an interesting challenge.